Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, and a special hello to Carlo, who took the time to wish me a pleasant stay in his country of Croatia. Carlo, you, my friend, are a gentleman, and I wanted to thank you for taking that time to message me, because you put a smile on this podcaster's face this morning. The fact that I can sit here in a room and talk into a microphone on my own and then speak to guests all over the world and finally push one button for that conversation to be beamed across internet land and listen to people on their commute, at the gym, walking their dog, doing household chores, or even just drinking cocktails by the beach. That still blows my mind. So keep those messages and pics of where you listen to the show coming in, and let's work together to continue tearing down those geographical barriers and stereotypes and just get back to learning from each other. Because I honestly think that it's not just the guests that bring value to this show, it's you guys listening too. After all, tech really does work best when it brings people together, right? But on with today's show. Now, you might know KeepSolid as a VPN unlimited service, which has already had over 7 million users worldwide. But they recently launched an eSignature app called KeepSolid Sign. Now, as someone that deals with international clients, the concept of printing out a document, signing it, scanning it back, and then sending an email, or in some cases snail mail, feels quite primitive. But many e-signature solutions out there are just too expensive. And it seems to me at least that KeepSolid wanted to do something about that. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to Ukraine so we can speak with Julia Hovko from KeepSolid. So a massive warm welcome to the show, Julia. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Thanks for having me, Neil. My name is Julia Hovko, and I'm a head of marketing at KeepSolid. Here at KeepSolid, we create security and productivity solutions for business and personal use. We have more than 7 products in our portfolio and more than 8 million users already worldwide who trust their privacy and personal data to us. The biggest value that these users have in our products is that we provide reliable solutions that works literally on any device. At the moment, my main focus is our new product, an electronic signature software called KeepSolid Sign. When our clients come to us, their main concerns are security, legality, and achieving cost-value balance when working with documents or applying a corporate data protection. So when it comes to an eSignature technology or a VPN solution, for example, we know how to assist businesses and ensure peace of mind.
You do have a lot of products, and a lot of people listening will know you, probably in particularly due to VPN Unlimited service, which is very popular with people listening, I think. But you, like you said, you've recently released the eSignature app, which is called KeepSolid Sign. So can you offer an overview of what kind of problems you're solving for your customers there? And also what makes KeepSolid Sign different from all the other solutions that are out there?
If you're working in virtually any form of business, you probably need signatures to close deals, sign contracts, bring on employees, and just basically operate, However, doing all that on paper requires a lot of time and effort, and you may not have them. So here, KeepSolid Sign is the solution that helps you sign documents like contracts, approvals, NDAs, and collect signatures in minutes, a fast and secure and inconvenient way. Comparing to other alternatives, KeepSolid Sign is a multi-platform app available for Mac, Windows, iOS, Android, and browsers. And this specifically allows our users to sign documents, access them, and actually work with them on any device, on the go, remotely, and even offline. Imagine even when you're having internet connectivity issues, you can still do a lot with KeepSolid Sign. You can work with your documents, add necessary fields, annotate the document, assign signers and participants of this document. We'll totally prepare it for sending. And you can even press send. It will be sent immediately when you get internet connection. Apart from all of that, of course, KeepSolid Sign is an app, is a roundup of all your legal documents in a single app view, and you can synchronize all your documents between all your devices, meaning you can have access to it anytime. You can also create templates from most used documents so that it saves your time. You can monitor the status of agreements and contracts in real time, and that is crucial. You can stay in the loop. Also, KeepSolid Sign ensures strong security on all of your documents because our company has a huge background in security solutions. Well, speaking about the security, KeepSolid Sign keeps all your documents and all information contained in a secure storage, totally safe with its high-grade encryption. That means that all your data is far from reach of unauthorized parties and safe from leak and breaches. We also have a different approach to pricing. When we started the app, we thought that we don't want our users to be limited in the amount of documents that they can send the amount of time, for example, per month or per annually. So we offer a few subscription plans and provide full functionality for each one. And the price rise of sender's quantity, not the features. So as I said, there are no limits to the number of documents you need to send for signature or comparing to other alternatives. Moreover, the service is always free for signers, meaning those who receive the document for signature never need to pay anything.
Wow, you've won me over there with the words fast and convenient, syncs all docs across all devices, it's secured, it's encrypted, and flexible pricing, and as a user that just has to sign the contract, I don't have to pay anything.
Yep, exactly.
So, for anyone listening today, can you also tell me how eSignature technologies also boost business productivity too?
Well, yes, of course. The thing is that I, as a head of marketing, I communicate a lot with our customers, and I see lots of patterns that they share with us, how the app influence and generally the electronic signature technology influence their business. So here I would like to highlight four main impacts on the business efficiency. First of all, when you use an eSignature app, you get signatures faster and you close deals while on the go. You would probably be surprised maybe how much a company productivity can suffer in the result of the paperwork downtimes. This is why being able to sign documents whenever you are is one of the greatest benefits of a signature software. It also becomes so much easier to sign contracts that involve multiple parties. Imagine that after the person signs the document, the first person, the app automatically routes the file to the next signer in the workflow. So you don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to recall, well, who is next for signing, and your business just operates faster. The second point is that using an eSignature software makes the document workflow more secure. As I mentioned a bit before, paper documents can be lost. They can be damaged, forgotten. You can even spill a tea on them. And using a signature software, this reduces those risks. Most of the electronic signatures providers offer a highly secure AES 256 encryption protocol so that you can be sure that all your files and all your data are safe and sound. Additionally, it's very convenient that all your documents are synchronized, as I said, and you can have immediate access to them wherever you are. Our clients also like to share that knowing the status of the deal is really important, especially in real time. Those questions like, have they signed the document already? Or what if the document wasn't received by a signer? Or if they just forgot them under some stack of paper? Those questions can be easily answered if you use such a software. You can clearly see what stage of the signing process each document is. And if the time presses, you can just send a reminder to all the participants, and boom. As I believe, each software, each service, it should save you money or time or both. And using a signature software, it can save you money, paper, and an office space. So this is like a roundup of the four main highlights that I believe are crucial for any business that would like to go paperless.
I can't tell you how this is music to my ears, because I do get some clients that insist on sending me a contract for a little bit of work that I'm doing for them, for some writing or launching a podcast, etc. But then when I have to physically print it out on paper, sign it, and sometimes they don't even want me to scan it back to them. They expect me to go to a post office and queue in a long line. Oh. It just seems so backward, doesn't it, that way of working?
Yeah, this is actually this print and scan routine. This is an old world, but according to our beta that we made last year, a lot of businesses still do it. And it's not just because you're like a physical person, you just need to sign it once. Lots of businesses do it even when they have this like a routine, like a daily task. And those print and scanning, is something that we also struggle with, and we want to shift this to go into not only greener but also a paperless office scenario. And it not only means that you need just an e-signature software. You can need anything to from contract signing and to the paperless office that will be accessible for all employees all over the world.
Like you said, there is a few companies out there that are still going by the old way of working, and I just cannot understand that. So I've got to ask, I mean, are e-signatures legal, and what are its acceptance specifics in different countries and different industries?
That's a really good question, Neil, and it's actually one of my favorite because this is one of the most frequent questions from all our users and people that come to us and ask about our electronic software solution. In general, electronic signature laws vary from country to country. And before answering it, I need to explain a bit the difference between electronic signature and a digital signature. These two terms have really different meaning, though lots of people think they are actually the same. According to eIDAS, which is a set of standards for electronic identification and transactions in the European Union, electronic signature means pretty much any electronic manifestation of intent or consent. For example, when you take a tip in terms and conditions in a checkbox, or an image of a handwritten signature, or a name in the end of the email, that's all in electronic signature. Digital signatures is actually a type of electronic signatures that uses cryptography to sign documents and uniquely associate them with signers, normally with the help of a digital certificate. It's a bit of a complicated topic, and I'm trying here to explain it in the plain language. So the legality of electronic signatures actually can be divided into groups. The first one consists of countries that recognize only digital signatures on a court level. These are countries like Turkey, Indonesia, Peru, Malaysia, Philippines. The countries from the second group allow any type of e-signatures, and including simple signature. It's United States, European Union, Canada, Japan, China, etc. Although the second group, this is not that very simple. They can be also divided into subtypes, so bear with me a bit. An open type and a tier type. The open countries have no special requirements for proving electronic signatures legality in court, which means that there is no additional evidence is required. Meanwhile, the situation with tiered model countries, for example, Brazil, is in this model. It is a little bit more complex since you may need extra evidence to support electronic signature validity in court. If we're speaking particularly of UK, as you are in UK, the UK has accepted electronic signature since 2000, and it's since the Electronic Communication Act. And now it adheres to eIDAS regulations that came into play in July 2016. So this gives businesses the option to use e-signatures in any field. So in the UK, handwritten signatures aren't needed for a contract to be seen as credible. So to conclude all this, electronic signatures are legal, but for some business fields, for some industries, or even countries, you may need an extra evidence to support this electronic signature validity in court.
Now, you did mention a few moments ago about encryption, but we might have a few legal teams or even concerned CEOs listening to us talk here about this software. So how safe and secure is e-signature software?
Specific security measures vary depending on the software. For instance, it is highly effective to apply data encryption like AES 256. This is actually the same type of encryption that is used by the US government to protect their top secret information. AES 256 secures any and all of your data within the app. For example, if we talk about KeepSolid Sign, it protects all documents with random keys, and the encryption combination AES plus ARISA. It's a bit complicated part here, but the AES allows to quickly encrypt data, and the ARISA algorithm ensures a secure key exchange so that no one can compromise the decryption keys. Moreover, the encrypted user data is not stored in one place in our app, but we distribute it over several servers without the possibility of its partial or even full interpretation. Well, this all means that even when some parties intercept your data, they will not be able to restore, decrypt, and aggregate it. Other applications, as far as I know, and as far as my research says, also use those kind of combinations, and they also state that. Of course, we don't know exactly how their architecture look like. But this is actually those combination of the AES plus the RSA is one of the most good and effective way to encrypt data.
You've done a fantastic job of simplifying electronic and digital signatures in that whole complex world. You really have. But there are a lot of solutions out there, and there are going to be a lot of people listening that may be thinking of exploring this, especially as part of the digital transformation and doing away with paper. So what points should users keep in mind when choosing that right fit, that eSignature solution for their business?
Well, when talking to our clients, there are also most of the questions that are about security and legality that we already covered. But there are also, depending on the size of the organization and the industry they work in, they ask different questions when choosing the software. So I would like to highlight a couple of points here and questions that you can ask the vendor when you choose the software. And first of all, is if the software offers an intuitive user experience. And here I mean the user experience for your signer. It should be a especially clear and intuitive process when they receive a request for signature. You want this process to be as smooth and simple as it can be. Your deal depends on that a lot, right? And KeepSolid Sign, for example, from the KeepSolid Sign, the signer receives an email with the big button to open the document and sign it. When they click on the button, the document is opened automatically in the browser with a hint what actions are required and where to apply them. So we're trying to make this process as smooth as possible, though there's, of course, a space for improvements. And I would like to encourage everyone to test what the process for the signer is, because you as a user, probably as a sender, as the author of the document, you would use the app frequently, but the signer wouldn't. So you need to make it as smooth as can be. I also covered a bit about the compatibility on the devices and working in the field, like for construction workers, for example, on working offline. And this is also crucial if the app can work on any device, literally on the go and offline, because lots of the job is done sitting at the desk, right? But lots of our users need to keep on the pace and sign documents or send them when they travel or when they are in the plane or on the business trip, when they have low internet connection. They need to make it on their personal devices. So the app should synchronize, and you should have access to all of your documents and all of your work actually on this device. You depend on that a lot. So you need to test the application, the software on any devices to see if this is really good enough for you. Of course, lots of companies already use dozens of business applications to manage their daily tasks. So I encourage you to leverage the software that integrates with the electronic signature service, with the electronic signature solution. For example, you can use apps like Google or Microsoft services or Box or any other cloud storage. And of course, you would like to foster your work and make the process smooth, so that your solution would be integrating with those applications. I already covered the security part, so any client is actually interested, and we are explaining them how the documents is decrypted, how we secure them, where we store them, and I believe this is crucial for any customer and any vendor. Also, there is, of course, the price. Well, you cannot cross this out from the equation, and any company that would like to solve the problem of signing documents faster, they have some budget to solve the problem. So you need to consider how many your colleagues are going to use the software. What is the average amount of documents you need to sign on monthly and annually? So you can leverage the best price and value depending on the vendor.
It does sound to me that KeepSolid Sign would be a much, much more affordable and flexible option for smaller to medium-sized business that can't afford those expensive options such as Adobe Sign. I mean, is that your target audience?
Well, this is actually interesting that you are asking about Adobe specifically, because we are mostly compared to it, though we just only started our way. Adobe Sign is a great product. It is really mature with a clear focus on enterprise segment. Just look at their recent strategic partnership with Microsoft to build a tight integration between their products and help enterprises be more efficient. For KeepSolid Sign, our main focus is currently on solopreneurs and small to medium-sized businesses that need to sign documents or collect signatures frequently, like daily, weekly, sometimes offline or in the field, for example, for construction professionals, or when they travel and simply don't have internet access. It makes sense for them to have a dedicated product to solve this task on their favorite device and thus pay for it monthly or even annually. Also, as I said, our app is a cross-platform app, so available for Mac and Windows and other mobile devices. And this actually dictates the type of clients who come to us and use the product. For example, lots of our users download the app on the Mac App Store, and these are mostly freelancers, self-employed entrepreneurs, and small teams. If we talk about Windows users, those are teams inside bigger companies and organizations. We are a bit cheaper than Adobe Sign, and we offer our clients a 14-day free trial to test the app for themselves and with their colleagues, of course. And they also have a limited amount of documents that they can sign or send for signature in any plan if they choose with some pricing plan. That's quite a generous offer comparing to other solutions on the market.
So if we do have people listening that are still stuck in the old way of doing things and they want to make a big change, do you have any customer use cases that can share or highlight how the app is helping that business through that digital transformation?
Yes, of course. We are actually using KeepSolid Sign inside our company as well. We started developing KeepSolid Sign as a solution to improve the signing process inside our own organization. So our finance, HR, and sales departments were the first to adopt it. And I believe the sales experience that our sales and HR teams have are actually common to any other sales team. So I would like to share it here with you. The process of signing contracts for our sales managers before was quite time consuming. We used to send an email with the contract, the same as you mentioned before. They had our partners have to check the email, find the contract, download it, print it, then sign it, scan it back to us. And this could take both sides with well over a week. And that would be even a good scenario because the contract didn't get lost in the email box or there were no mistakes in it. But afterwards, using KeepSolid Sign, our sales managers are able to just upload the necessary contract, annotate it, assign our partners to sign it, and just send it. And the partners just receive an email, open it, and sign it. That's all. And this optimization actually saves sales managers about 3 to 5 days of downtime. And as I mentioned, HR teams also benefit using an electronic signature software. And there are lots of cases that our clients share with us, particularly HR specialists use the app to onboard new employees and sign job offers, NDAs, vacation approvals, and unfortunately, employee leaving checklists. Consulting companies and marketing agencies, they sign agreements and contracts with their clients. We also have a bunch of realtors and real estate agents that sign various real estate forms like offers, agreements, forms from different listing services. There's also quite an interesting case of using KeepSolid Sign by a pastor in the Trinity Lutheran Church. We didn't even think about this niche, but they actually sign every check and invoice and sign official letters sent from the church and occasional bid approvals. So this was quite an opening for us. Recently, actually, our team was also surprised when we received feedback from a film director and a professor in a college and even an actor. Unfortunately, I cannot recall his full name. I think his name was Douglas. Probably he was not that famous.
Michael or Kirk?
I hope this was Michael because I really want to make an interview with him and learn how he used KeepSolid. So this is really you can think about lots of applications of the software. It's literally in any business field when you need something to be signed or collect signatures.
Fantastic. I know it's early days for you guys, but I mean, what's next for KeepSolid Sign?
Well, as you know, we launched our product in open beta less than a year ago. It helped us a lot to understand who our users are, what they value, and how we are compared to other products out there. The best what we get now is feedback and client interviews that actually help us select what to do next. So I will share just a few plans that will be realized this summer, and some of them till the end of 2018. So the first one, we are working now on creating new experience using our web application. As for now, it only supports signing and observing documents, and till the end of this summer, we are going to release a beta version with a new UI, user interface, that allows to do everything that our standalone apps support and even more. So we will actually announce it, and we encourage users to join the beta and help us make the best web application out there, create, sign, and work with your documents. Along with that, we will offer our users an opportunity to sign documents directly from their Gmail. So they don't need to leave their favorite Gmail application, Gmail tab, and just sign attached documents and contracts right from the app. And in the end of July, our users will be able to use KeepSolid Sign on Apple Watch. This is actually my favorite update, because I believe that it's quite natural that e-signing apps should be available for Apple Watch. However, not many of them yet are there. So we took this opportunity to help our users keep up with the pace and get all necessary notifications about the documents, as well as make actions, but still maintain a good work-life balance. And also, until the end of the year, we would like to be fully compliant with eSign and European eIDAS. We are going to offer additional signer authentication and audit trail with all signer actions and complete document history, so that our electronic signatures will be fully valid and can stand in court.
Well, I'm sure you've offered a lot of food for thought for a lot of people listening. And if you have sparked their curiosity and they want to find out more, can you just remind the listeners of where they can find you online, and also contact a member of your team if they've got any additional questions?
Yes, sure. Well, first of all, you can go to our website at www.sign.keepsolid.com. You can also ping us on Twitter or Facebook, or just leave us a message. We have a 24/7 phone and email support. I actually encourage you to try our support, because we are proud to serve our clients and get first replies within an hour. So if you have questions, this would be the best option to get. And I hope if you have questions, we would be really glad to answer them and assist you with any electronic signature and document workflow solutions that we can offer.
Well, a huge thanks for coming on the show today. Just explaining the differences between electronic and digital signatures was something I didn't even know about before. Is so valuable. But I love how you're making it smooth for users and the people that don't even operate the software as well. Because as somebody that deals with NDAs and contracts on a regular basis, that whole download, print, scan, email, that whole scenario it doesn't seem fit for a digital era. So I applaud you for what you're doing there and removing those pain points and bringing those contracts and the signing of that and the legality side into the digital landscape. It's just a fantastic thing. So thanks for coming on.
Thanks a lot, Neil. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad that Julia came on the show today to explain how KeepSolid is offering this affordable solution for e-signatures. There are few words that trigger me because I'm an easygoing guy, but the number of large corporations that create needless hurdles and pain points because that is company policy still astounds me. I recently had a client who shall remain nameless, and every article that I wrote for them, I had to physically print out an invoice and an NDA and then put it into an envelope, walk to the post office and send that document via airmail. Now, I understand that they have their legal requirements, but there are so many options out there to use tech to reach those requirements without having to introduce 5 to 10 people into the mix, such as the clerk at the post office, the driver that picks it up, the sorting office, the pilot to fly it, the delivery guy, the list goes on. But e-signature software can be expensive, and companies such as Adobe do seem to have that market cornered, until now. Just like there are cheaper alternatives if you want to edit a PDF document, there should also be alternatives for e-signatures too. So I salute KeepSolid for doing just that. And if you're listening to me today and your company policy dictates that you must have a printed document that's signed, then sent through the snail mail system, we're now in a digital age. Maybe it's time to rethink that policy rather than say, well, we've always done it this way. But what do I know? I mean, share your stories, your experiences, and the real reasons why I might have got this completely wrong. And you can do that by emailing me at techblogwriter@outlook.com. You can tweet me at Neil C. Hughes. But I'm off to the post office now to post one of those documents that I told you about and hand over some shiny silver coins and think to myself, is this progress? But thanks for being part of today's show and even listening to my mini rants. Let's do it all again tomorrow. But until then, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.